Namaste everybody, and welcome to the beach. Today we're going to be doing a program for our Namaste Beasts, which is a program set up specifically for strength, mobility, and stability of the body, so you can do any of your other workouts, including weightlifting or anything like that. So this program is specifically designed for squat mobility, especially if you're having pain or troubles in front squat or an overhead squat. And so this will help to connect our upper body to our lower body, really focusing on the core and hips. Part of this is going to be a lot slower than a lot of our vinyasa flows. And part of this is also going to be really focused on alignment and breathing. So that really gets you aware of your body. So when you are in those squats with heavy weight, you can make sure your back is in appropriate alignment. So today we're going to start directly into it, jumping into some cat-cows and really warming up our abs, our core, getting ourselves prepped and ready. Let's do this. Start into tabletop position. Your toes can be curled or flat, whatever's more comfortable. And we're going to go into just some cat-cows. I know they're really manly, but they're really good for your spine. It also keeps your body in awareness of where your hips are. A lot of people tend to overextend or overflex their spine, and that can be a problem in squatting. So today we're going to start with that. So on our inhale, drop your stomach, look to the sky, and on your exhale, round the spine. I just want you to go through a few of these, really keeping an awareness of how your hips connect to your core, connect to your upper extremity. Good. So let's just go through a few more. Make sure we're breathing in, fill up our stomach and our chest, and on our exhale, tighten the core. Let's get those six-pack abs going. Good. And then on this next one, we're going to make sure that we open up our spinal twist to really get our obliques working. You're going to take your left hand to the center of the mat. Your right hand, we're not eating ham. Our right hand is going to come up to the sky, and we're going to twist through our body. Underneath, you can either keep your left hand by your ear, or you can even bring it up towards the top of your mat. Your right hand is almost pressing into the floor. This really helps our upper spine mobility and warms up all of the stabilizing muscles. Good. And then we're going to take our left hand back to the center. Right arm comes up, and then bring it back to center. Right hand comes to the center, left hand goes up, twist through that spine, and then the left hand comes under our body. Our right hand can either stay there or bring it up to the top of the mat. Left hand gently presses into the floor to really twist and wake up those muscles. Big breath in and a big breath out. Good, back to center. Let's open up our spine, make those muscles work. So we're gonna ground through our right hand, left knee, and our left arm, right leg is gonna come straight back. Now, a lot of the time people wanna drop their stomach in this. Keep that stomach in alignment. Don't open up the hip too much. We're staying here. And then if we want, you can either stay here if you feel like you're getting a good ab workout, or we can bring that right knee to our left elbow, curl in, and then send it back out. Again, keep your body in alignment. Don't flip to one side. Right knee, left elbow. Good, and send it back out. And then drop those hands, switch sides. Make sure that you're, again, alignment on this side. Maybe you notice that one side is easier to keep in alignment. You might have a weakness on one side, and this would be a good activity to do regularly. Left knee, right elbow. Lefts and rights are hard today. Extend out, curl back in, extend out, and drop it back down to neutral. Good. From here, we're going to go straight into down dog. Pedal it out. Really open up those calves, those hamstrings. And then walk your hands to your feet. Your feet to your hands, top of the mat. We're going to mix it all up today, aren't we? And then we're going to just meet in forward fold. You're going to kind of shift side to side. And what I want you to do, shift over to the left, straighten your left knee, bend your right. This really opens up the outside body of our left leg. Good. And then over to the right, your left knee is going to bend, right knee is going to straighten. Good. Back to center. And then inhale, rise up. And we're just gonna kind of go back and forth. Feel, sometimes if you extend backwards, you can feel your low back is a little bit tight, or maybe it's really tight in the front of the body. Really stretch through that. Good. And then our forward fold. We're gonna go ahead and take that left foot, step straight back, drop the left knee, uncurl the toes. We're gonna rise up, low crescent lunge. Arms are up by the ears. You can grasp your hands together. We're gonna pay attention to what our left hip is doing and what our right knee is doing. Our left hip should be facing forward, and our right knee should be in alignment close to angling towards our pinky toe. So you should be able to look down and see your right big toe. This is good and important for alignment. And you're gonna breathe through your stomach and exhale. Good. It's important to keep that alignment because if we're collapsing in, we're not working or warming up the muscles we need to. Good. Plant your hands. Right foot goes back to meet the left. We're in plank pose. Chaturanga, push up. Up dog, uncurl those back toes. And then send it back for down dog. Good. Pedal it out here. And then you're going to ground through the right foot. Step the left between the hands. Lower that back knee. And hands come together, rise up. Again, pay attention. What's your left knee doing? Is it in alignment with your pinky toe? Can you go look down and see your toe? Is your right hip trying to open up? Maybe this side's a little tighter and you need to tighten your right butt cheek to keep your hips in alignment. Good. Big breath in through the stomach and out. Good. Big breath in and out. Plant your hands. Your right foot is going to come up to meet the left. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Wonderful. Inhale, rise up, and then hands come down to your chest. Wonderful. So from here, we're going to get into what we call sun salutation B. So it's a little bit more of a warm-up. Gets moving fast, but we're going to try and slow it down for this one to really get into alignment. So we're at the top of our mat, and we're going to sink. Your hands can be at your chest starting out. We're gonna lower down into chair pose. So we're gonna sink down into a seated position. Your knees can be together. You can have a block or a pillow between your knees, or you can just have them spread apart. But what you need to focus on is what are your abs and low back doing. If we send our arms up by our ears, do you have a big arch in your low back? If so, curl your tailbone under and sink a little lower. If you're really hunched forward, then try to flatten that back just a little bit and sink forward. Your lower body should connect to your upper body while you're in this pose. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Step back for high plank pose. Lower down through chaturanga. Up dog and down dog. Take your right foot, step it between your hands, turn that back arch, hands still come forward, rise up for warrior one. So your back arch is perpendicular to the mat, your left arch is parallel. Good. And you're going to try and sink into that right front hip, but you're almost acting as if this left hip pointer is pointing forward. Now it's not going to be perfect because that back arch is turned, but if you can try and keep it pointed forward with your arms up, then you get a good stretch into that groin muscle. Good. And then we're going to take our hands to the mat, plank pose, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Good. And then we're going to take that left foot, step it between our hands, turn that back arch, rise up, hands come forward. Again, perpendicular on your right foot, left is parallel. And you're trying to keep that right hip pointer facing forward. Sink down into it. Good. And then hands to the mat, high to low we flow, up dog, and down dog. You're gonna look at your hands and your feet are gonna meet your hands at the top of the mat, however you choose to get there, hop, step, or float. Forward fold, and then on our inhale, bend those knees, rise up chair pose. Again, what's your low back doing? Are we arched? Are we overextended? Hands should meet. We should almost be one line from our fingertips all the way to the top of our butt cheeks. Don't be a broken line. Keep those hips in alignment. Good, and then forward fold. And then inhale, rise up. Sorry guys, I can't breathe through my nose apparently today. Wonderful. So from here, we're going to come forward fold. We're going to step back into plank pose, but then we're going to go straight to down dog. Perfect. From down dog, Groundhog Day. From down dog, we're going to take that right foot, step it between our hands, and we're going to lower that back knee. First, we're going to rise up, hands come together for a low crescent lunge. Keep alignment in factor here. Where's your knee? Where's your hip pointer? Good. Extend your front knee and dive forward. Your hands can come to the mat by your knee, or you can walk them all the way towards your ankle. And again, try to keep that alignment. If your hamstrings are really tight, don't come as far forward. You don't want that foot coming so far forward you're pulled out of alignment. Keep your hips level. Good. And then sink back forward, rise up, first back into crescent. And then you're going to take that right hand to the, rotate off to the right, and your left hand comes forward for a twisted low lunge. Again, what we're trying to do is open up the psoas, but we want our hip flexors and our knees to be in good alignment. So if you feel like your hips are out of alignment, maybe you have a weakness or a tightness somewhere. Good. Back up into crescent. You're going to take this left hand behind the left leg and lean backwards to really open up that hip flexor. But again, if you feel like you're rotating, try to keep yourself in alignment. If you get a pinch in the low back, don't lean as far back. Good. And then plant your hands, plank pose, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Good. This time you're going to take your left leg, step it between your hands, lower down, rise up. Good. We're going to stay into crescent lunge for a breath. Keep yourself in alignment. And then extend that front knee, dive forward. Again, keep yourself in alignment. Don't rotate too far one way or the other. If you have to walk your hands back a little bit, that's fine too. Good. And then sink forward, rise up. First into our crescent, low crescent. Left arm comes back, right arm comes forward for a twist. Sink in. We're trying to keep our hips level. By twisting, they automatically want to go this way, but you're trying to keep your hips in alignment. Back to center, right arm comes behind our leg, and we look up. Again, if we are appropriately working the muscles that need to be worked, our glutes are tightened, our hip flexors are stretching, we shouldn't feel a pinch in the low back. If you feel a pinch, maybe your glutes aren't connecting correctly when you're in low squat or in front squat, and that's part of your problem. You can use this to stretch them out and strengthen them out. Good. And then we're going to plant our hands, come forward fold at the top of our mat. Wonderful. From here, rise up. And then exhale, forward fold. Come back into first, just straight to down dog. Good. And we're going to take our right foot, step it forward. You can either keep this back knee lifted or on the mat. I'm going to keep it lifted because to me it feels better. If you want it on the mat, you're going to do a very similar motion. So from here, we're going to rise up into crescent. We're going to bring our hands to our chest, and we're going to take our left elbow to the outside of our right knee, twisting across the body. Now, a lot of times your right knee wants to collapse in and your right arch wants to collapse. Press that knee into your elbow. Press your left elbow into your knee. This is a good hip opener and muscle awakener for all of those squatting muscles. Good. And then we're going to rise back up into crescent lunge. We're going to take our right hand inside our right foot and we're gonna turn that back arch. So we're gonna really stretch through the left leg. If this is too much, then put both of your hands on the mat or just stay here. This opens up your groin. Good. And then we're gonna rotate forward. Left hand comes to the outside of our foot. Our right foot is gonna rotate, and we're gonna look towards the back of our mat. This opens up our right butt cheek. If you need to look up at the camera, please do. So we're coming from low lunge, our right hand's coming all the way back, our right foot. You'll see it on the other side as well. Good. And then back into low lunge. And then we're going to plant our hands, go through chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Good. Switching sides, we're gonna take our left foot, step it between our hands. Again, you can keep that back knee lifted, or you can put it on the mat. I'm gonna keep it lifted. Rise up, crescent lunge, hands to your heart center, your chest, your sternum, whatever floats your boat. And your right elbow is gonna come to the outside of your left knee. Don't fall like I almost did. Totally fine. Your left knee is gonna press into your right elbow. Your right elbow is gonna press into your left knee. Good. Rise back up. Oh, I'm about to fall here. Crescent lunge. First, we're gonna take our left hand to the inside, turn that back arch, and just kind of sink into it. You can bring both feet to the mat, or just the one, and sink into it. Your groin should feel that opening up. Good. Come back to the top. Right hand comes to the mat. Left arch turns. Your left arm's gonna come to the back. You're on the knife's edge of your left foot. Good. Come back to center, and then rotate back again. This really opens up. It's a hip capsule stretch, so this will set you up for a good squat. Good. Back to center, hands to the mat, plank pose, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Good. And down dog, take your right foot, step it between your hands. First, rise up, crescent lunge, and then we're gonna open it up for warrior two. So your left arch is gonna rotate, squeeze your shoulder blades together, sink into that right thigh. Your back left arch is perpendicular to the mat. You're gonna flip your right palm and you're gonna head towards the back of the mat for reverse warrior. The more you sink into your front leg and head backwards, you're gonna stretch these right side body muscles, which will help you in your squat. Good. Back to center. Your right elbow is gonna come into the inside of your right knee. Your left arm is gonna come up. We're gonna try and have a straight line all the way through. If you feel like it's not happening, then just bring that arm back, but it means you don't have good shoulder mobility, and your front squat and your overhead squat are gonna have problems. So try and get that stretch there. Good. Back into warrior two. We're gonna pop that back heel, and we're gonna step the left foot up to meet the right, going straight into a chair pose. So remember our chair pose, arms are above our head. I grasp my hands together because it helps my shoulder mobility. You don't have to, you can keep them apart. But again, keep an idea of where your hips are. Good, and then forward fold, plank pose, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Wonderful. Take your left foot, step it between your hands. First, rise up, crescent lunge. Turn your back arch, open up for warrior two. We're squeezing our shoulder blades together. We're opening up our front chest. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior. Good, back into warrior two. Your left elbow comes to the inside of your left knee. Your right arm comes up. Pay attention to that line. Do you feel like you're arching forward because you don't have good mobility? Try and twist towards the sky. Use your left elbow as leverage for that. Good. Back into warrior two. Pop it up for crescent lunge. Your back arch pops up, and then step straight into chair pose at the top of your mat. Good. And then forward fold. Breathing the whole time. I recognize I'm not breathing very well because I'm talking the whole time, so I apologize if it doesn't sound like I'm breathing. From here, we're going to plant our butt onto the mat, and we're going to go through our last bit of openers for this. Catch our breaths. Sorry about that. So from here, we're going to come into boat pose, one of my favorite poses. So normal boat pose, our legs are fully extended. I come to half boat pose. And you can extend if you want to. It's easier for me to do this one. So whichever one you want, either knees bent or knees straight. And we're going to hold in boat pose. Very important in boat pose, don't collapse. You almost like you have a string attached to your sternum and it's lifting you to the sky. If you can't hold it here, put your hands behind your knees and just keep your chest up tall. It's more important for the chest to be tall than for your hands to be out. Good. From here, take your right hand to the front, left arm back, rotating boat, open up with the right and left hip flexors, back to center, rotate off to the other direction, back to center. Good. And then you can either, again, keep yourself here if that's more comfortable, keep yourself here, or we're going to do an open boat, which our arms come up. What you're focusing on here is, do you want to collapse? If you're trying to collapse, particularly in the chest, then it means you have a core that is not connecting your upper extremity to your lower extremity. So when you're in this boat pose, can you keep your arms up or do they collapse forward? That's important, particularly for overhead squat. If our arms are here rather than back here, we're not in proper alignment and it means we have a dysfunction. So boat pose is a really good pose to build out dysfunction, but it's also a really good pose to build from that dysfunction. So, sorry, anyways, my pedestal. So anyways, back to boat pose, we're gonna open it up. Try and get as low as you can. Make sure you're connected and squeeze back in. Come back out and squeeze back in. Good, one more. And squeeze back in. Wonderful. From here, we're gonna come onto our back. Sorry, I have to move my microphone. And we're just gonna get the last bit of spinal twists going. So first things first, hug your knees into your chest. Take your arms out like a T. Drop your legs off to the left, look to the right. Good. Big breath in. Breathe through your stomach. Breathe through your abdominal wall, through your chest wall, and exhale. Back to center. And off to the right. Good. Look to the left. Big breath in. Big breath out. Good. Back to center. And from here, if you feel like this was your workout, take your Shavasana, take your corpse pose. If you feel like this was just a good warm-up to get you into overhead squat, then you're welcome to sit up. So I use this routine for myself to strengthen where I have issues, but it also is a good way to figure out where you have issues. If you feel like you were in a position or a pose that was really hard to get into, but there was this tightness, weakness, or an inability to have proper alignment, then we can help you out. Here at Namaste Beaches, we try to help athletes get to their best ability. So if you have questions about why you're unable to get into a certain pose, send us an email, leave a comment, something like that. We can help you get yourself back into the game, have a stronger, more stable squat, and have more hip mobility. Alrighty guys, Namaste Beaches here, part of Namaste Beasts. If you guys have anything you want, like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, we'll see you guys here next time.